India is a land of wonders, a place where ancient traditions meet modern marvels. But what if we could take these wonders to the next level? What if we could build something so extraordinary that it would leave even the most seasoned travelers in awe? Introducing the Taj Mahal 2.0, the world's first fully automated monument. Using cutting-edge technology and innovative design, we have created an experience like no other. With just one click on your smartphone, you can watch as the Taj Mahal comes alive before your very eyes. The intricate details are mesmerizing, and the colors are breathtaking. And that's not all. We've also taken inspiration from some of the world's most iconic landmarks to create a truly unique masterpiece. From the majestic pyramids of Egypt to the stunning Duomo di Milano, each element has been carefully crafted to evoke a sense of wonder and awe. But perhaps the most impressive feature of the Taj Mahal is its ability to adapt to any environment. Whether you prefer a bustling cityscape or a serene countryside setting, this monument will transform itself to suit your every need. Imagine strolling through the gardens at dawn with mist rising around you, or watching the sunset over the water as the monument glows with warm hues. It's an experience unlike anything else. So why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Come visit India and witness the magic of the Taj Mahal 2.0. You won't be disappointed. Thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing travel experiences and share it with your friends who love exploring new places. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest adventures. Until next time, happy travels. Thank you for visiting our YouTube channel. For more information about the Taj Mahal 2.0, please check out Yama River. We hope you enjoy your stay here and look forward to seeing you again soon. The Taj Mahal is a stunning example of Mughal architecture. Its design incorporates several key elements, including intricate marble inlay work, which was created by skilled artisans using chisels to carve delicate patterns into the white marble surface. The monument's symmetrical layout features 4 minarets that stand tall on each corner, creating an impressive visual effect. These minarets are not only functional as prayer towers, but also serve to enhance the overall aesthetic appeal of the structure. Another important aspect of its design is the use of light and shadow, which creates dynamic effects throughout the day. As sunlight shifts across different angles during sunrise, midday, or sunset, the building appears to change shape before your eyes. Additionally, water reflects off surfaces like pools or puddles around it at certain times, further enhancing this illusion. This clever play with natural lighting conditions adds depth and dimension to the structure itself. Furthermore, modern technology has been employed in preserving this iconic landmark. Computers now assist architects and engineers alike by simulating various scenarios related to structural integrity issues caused by environmental factors such as earthquakes and climate changes over time periods spanning decades into centuries ahead. By analyzing data from past events, alongside current trends observed today, researchers can develop effective strategies for safeguarding this UNESCO World Heritage Site against potential threats posed by nature, while ensuring longevity remains intact for generations yet unborn. In conclusion then, both traditional craftsmanship techniques, combined with contemporary engineering solutions, work together harmoniously towards protecting one another from harm while simultaneously maintaining their historical significance as cultural treasures worldwide. If you enjoyed learning about how these two worlds come together seamlessly within our beloved Taj Mahal, please subscribe so we may continue sharing more insights like these here soon. The Taj Mahal is one of the most beautiful buildings in the world, but it's also a massive swamp. This incredible structure was built on marshy land, and yet it has stood for over 5 centuries without sinking into the ground. How did they build this magnificent monument without collapsing? What secrets lie beneath its foundation that have kept it standing tall all these years? Let me tell you about an engineering marvel you won't believe. When architects began planning the Taj Mahal, they faced a huge problem. They needed to support this enormous building on soft and unstable soil. To solve this issue, they came up with something extraordinary. Instead of using concrete or steel, which would sink into the mud, the builders used wooden piles. These were driven deep into the earth, some reaching as far down as 30 meters. But here's where things get interesting. These weren't just any wood. They chose logs from the nearby Yamuna River, soaking them in water before driving them underground. By keeping the wood wet, it stopped rotting even after decades underwater. It sounds simple, but it wasn't easy. Each pile had to be hammered into place by hand, one at a time. And that's not all. Between each pile, they filled gaps with sand, lime and silt, creating layers that supported the weight above. So why go through such trouble? Here's the catch. Modern engineers discovered that if they hadn't done this work, the entire Taj Mahal could have sunk or tilted within just a few generations. Thanks to their ingenuity, this masterpiece still stands today, proving how ancient techniques can outlast modern methods. Next time you see the Taj Mahal, remember, it's more than just beauty. It's a testament to human creativity and resilience against nature itself. If you enjoyed learning about this incredible piece of history, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating stories. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Stay tuned because we're diving deeper into the wonders of engineering every week. See you soon. The foundation of the Taj Mahal is a marvel. It's 15 feet deep, which means it goes down to bedrock, and then another 150 feet below that. That's about as tall as a 15-story building, and this was built in an area where there are only 3 acres of land available. To build such a massive foundation, they had to drill about 600 boreholes. Each one was 11 feet deep and 1 foot wide. They then filled these holes with concrete and reinforced them with steel bars. These are called piers, and they use steel bars instead of wood because wood would rot over time. They also use steel bars instead of concrete because they wanted something that would last forever. The foundation was built in layers. First, they poured 3 feet of concrete into each hole and then added another layer of soil that weighed about 2 tons per cubic yard. Then they repeated this process until there were 6 layers totaling 20 feet high. This allowed them to build up gradually without having to worry about sinking too much weight down into the ground below. To make sure everything stayed put, they had to use over 60,000 trucks worth of cement for this project alone. That's enough material to fill 3 Taj Mahals. So how did all these materials get transported? Well, according to one estimate, it cost around $2 million just to move all those supplies by boat or train. But wait, there's more. If you factor in labor costs and transportation fees, the total comes out to roughly $10 million. Now let's talk money again. When we say $10 million worth of work went into building this thing, we mean that literally. That's how much money was spent on materials alone. And if we factor in labor costs as well, then we end up with an estimate of about $20 million worth of work done here. So yeah, this thing cost around 20 crores back then, which would be like today. If you've ever seen a construction site, you know that the first thing they do is lay down a foundation. This creates an unshakable base for whatever structure will be built on top of it. But what if there was no foundation? Well, this building has no foundation at all. So how does it stand so tall and stable today? The Taj Mahal stands on 3 different types of stone. White marble covers most of its surface, but underneath lies something very special. You see, the Taj Mahal isn't just one big piece of white marble. It's actually made up of many layers. There are 2 main ones, limestone and bricks. And then we have some other materials like sandstone, marble, and even terracotta tiles that were used to decorate specific parts of the tomb. Now let me tell you why these stones matter. They form the foundation of the entire monument. Without them, everything would collapse. That's because each layer provides support and stability from below, helping keep the whole structure upright, even during earthquakes or heavy rainstorms. Each brick weighs about 10 kilograms, while limestone blocks can weigh anywhere between 50 to 60 kilograms. This means that every single block had to be carried by hand, from quarries miles away. Imagine having to carry those huge weights without any modern machinery. Even more impressive is how precisely these stones fit together. No mortar was needed in their joints, just perfectly cut pieces fitting snugly against each other. Agra limestone came from Makrana, which is located near Agra. These massive slabs weren't easy to move either. Workers had to drag them across rough terrain, using ropes and pulleys, sometimes taking days just to transport one slab. It took 20 years to build the Taj Mahal, and it was built by over 1 million people, a quarter of whom were elephants. The main building material used in its construction was marble from Makrana quarries in India. But as you can see, the final product is not just white marble blocks, but rather intricately carved and polished surfaces. This level of craftsmanship comes at a cost. In fact, the marble casing alone is estimated to have cost more than all expenses combined.
for the entire project.
Today's builders face similar challenges. They need to find ways to reduce costs and increase efficiency on site. One way they are doing this is through better use of technology. For example, instead of cutting stone manually with hand tools, they now cut it using diamond wire saws. These machines work around the clock to produce high-quality cuts quickly and efficiently. A single machine can do the job of 7 workers in only 1/3 of their time. Diamond wire saws are also safer for workers than traditional methods because there is no risk of flying debris or dust when operating them correctly. Plus, since these machines run continuously, there's less chance that something will go wrong during operation. So how does this process actually work? Firstly, engineers plan out what type of cuts will be needed for each block before starting production. Then, once everything has been planned out, they load up their machine with electricity generated by renewable sources like solar panels or wind turbines, which helps keep carbon emissions low while still providing enough power needed for operations. Once all components are ready, engineers begin feeding pieces into the cutter head, where they get sliced into smaller chunks that fit inside trucks measuring about 10 feet long. The Taj Mahal is made of marble, and to build it, they had to move 18 tons of marble from the quarries in Makrana, India. It took 20 years to complete its construction, and it cost a whopping $15 million in total. But how much does marble actually cost? Well, if you go to Makrana quarries now, you would be surprised by their prices. The average price per ton is about $500, which means $5 million per year. But if they use modern machinery, they can increase their production by 3 times, which would cost them about $15 million. That's almost 8 billion rupees. And if we consider inflation in India over the years, the Taj Mahal would have cost around 100 billion rupees, which translates into 120 crores Indian currency or 1,200 crores Pakistani currency. Now let me tell you something interesting. When building the Taj Mahal, people used to cut marble with chisels and hammers. But now there are many different ways to do this. You could use a machine like a CNC router or even a 3D printer. However, these methods aren't very popular yet. Most people still prefer using traditional tools. This is because when cutting marble, you need to be really careful not to break it. If you don't follow certain rules, it might crack while being moved from one place to another. One special type of marble called pietra dura was also used in the Taj Mahal. Pietra dura comes from 2 places: Persia, which is now Iran, and Central Asia, including Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and Afghanistan. This kind of marble has beautiful patterns that look like flowers. These designs were made by carving tiny pieces of stone, like jade, turquoise, mother of pearl, and amethyst onto the marble. They then put gold leaf inside each flower design. This technique was first seen in Persia during the Safavid dynasty around the late 16th century. The Taj Mahal is a stunning example of architecture. But have you ever wondered how much it cost to build? Let's break down the expenses. First off, let's talk about materials. The main material used in building the Taj Mahal was marble. This white marble came from Makrana quarries in India. It took over 2 million cubic feet of marble to complete this masterpiece. And that wasn't cheap back then. Next up, labor costs. Thousands of artisans and craftsmen were employed for years to carve, polish, and assemble all those intricate details. They worked tirelessly for decades, often under harsh conditions, so their pay had to be substantial. Then there are the construction costs. Building something as grand as the Taj Mahal required advanced engineering techniques and tons of resources. Even with today's technology, it would still take millions of dollars to rebuild it. Now let's consider inflation. If we adjust the original cost using today's currency, the total estimated value could reach around $1 billion or more. That includes everything from materials to labor, to the sheer scale of the project. But here's an interesting fact. Much of the work on the Taj Mahal was done by hand. For instance, the minarets, which stand at 62 meters tall, were built without modern machinery. Imagine the precision required to ensure they wouldn't lean during construction. So while the exact figure may vary, one thing is clear. Building the Taj Mahal was a monumental undertaking that involved immense effort and expense. Want to learn more fascinating facts like these? Hit subscribe and join us next time as we explore even more incredible stories from history and beyond. Have you ever wondered how much it cost to build? The Taj Mahal? This iconic monument is not just a symbol of love, but also an example of optical illusions. The Taj Mahal appears white in color. But did you know that its original color was red? Over time, the red sandstone has turned white due to weathering. Now let's talk about the construction costs. Building such a magnificent structure required immense resources and labor. It took over 20 years for thousands of artisans and craftsmen to complete this masterpiece. And the estimated cost was around $1 million in today's currency. But what if we could convert that into Indian rupees? That would be approximately 16 billion rupees. In Pakistani rupees, it would be roughly 100 billion. And in Afghani, it would be around 400 billion. These numbers are staggering, but they don't tell us exactly how much it cost back then. To understand the true value of those ancient currencies, we need to consider their purchasing power. Let's say someone donated land worth $1 billion to build the Taj Mahal. Today, that same plot of land would probably sell for around $2 billion. So why does this matter? Well, understanding these values helps us appreciate not only the grandeur of the Taj Mahal, but also the economic impact it had on the region during its construction. Imagine the bustling markets filled with traders selling goods, like spices, textiles, and precious metals, all contributing to the wealth generated by this project. If we were to calculate the cost per grain of rice used in building the Taj Mahal, which was a common currency at the time, that would have been around $15 per pound of rice. Multiply that by the total amount of rice needed, and you get a rough estimate of the expenses involved. Isn't history fascinating? We've been working on a project for the past year. It started with a simple idea: to create something that would make people wonder, and maybe even question what they thought was possible. The story begins in 1637, when Emperor Jahangir of India ordered his son, Shah Jahan, to build him an entire city in honor of his wife's birthday. But instead of building just one palace or monument, he decided to construct an entire city with palaces and gardens. And it took over 2 decades to complete. Over time, we realized this wasn't enough. So we set out to do something bigger, something no one had ever done before. What if we could recreate the Taj Mahal, not as a static structure, but as a living thing? A place where you can walk through its halls, feel the history beneath your feet, and experience every detail up close. This is why we built the Taj Mahal. To us, it's more than just a replica. It's a journey back in time, a chance to explore one of the world's most iconic landmarks from a completely new perspective. If you want to see how far we went into making this, watch our full video on YouTube.